What happens when you decide to do something, but instead of doing it, you instead sit down and you don't do the thing? For a lot of people, the reason why they don't do the thing is because they overthink what they have to do in order to do the thing. So today I'm going to talk about what you need to do to stop overthinking so you can become the type of person who is an overdoer. Because if you overdo, then you are going to overhave, right? And so the point is, overthinking is stopping your ability from doing what you need to do, and as a result, you're not able to get the things that you desire to have, okay? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And this video is inspired by a client of mine who I just had a coaching call with, and we had the problem, or we diagnosed the problem, that she was overthinking. So I'm going to use business as an example. She is looking to start her own business, and we talked about the part where you need to start creating content or doing something in order to get people to know that you have a product that you're selling, right? And so I have asked her to make a video, one video a week was the goal, for a while now, and she wasn't doing it. She had different things come up. And the reason why different things came up, and this is one of the first points I'm going to make, the reason why a lot of people overthink, for the most part, one of the most important things that comes up is the fact that people have too many choices, okay? And so overthinking is usually a problem of too many options. So it's kind of like people who have like multiple tabs open on the computer. You have multiple tabs open in your mind. If you have multiple options in terms of what you're trying to achieve or the method in which you're trying to achieve it, it's going to make you paralyzed, okay? And so for this person, she was like, maybe I can post on TikTok, I can post on Instagram, maybe I'll do one YouTube video, I'll do a Substack. And so she was being pulled into 4 different directions. And by the time that she tried to figure out which one was the right one for her, the week had gone by and she hadn't done any of them, okay? And so the first thing that happens when you overthink is usually happening because you have too many choices, okay? And a lot of times, too many choices leads to analysis paralysis, aka paralysis, aka nothing gets done. And so nothing got done. She wasn't able to progress to her desired outcome because she wasn't able to move forward because she was spread in 4 different directions. And it's a lot of work to try to do 4 different things at the same time, or to have 4 different things that you're trying to focus on. So that's the first part of why a lot of people overthink. And the second part of why people overthink is the fact that they have too many voices in their ears. So the first problem was that they had too many choices. But the second problem is that you have too many voices, okay? And this has to do with what's happening on the outside, right? It could be you want to do something, and so you have people telling you or giving an opinion of how you should do the thing, right? So that could be like one voice. Or another thing could be you are following a mentor and they tell you to do one thing, but then you go on YouTube or on social media and you see how other people are doing it, and you're like, maybe I should try their way, right? And so you have too many voices in your head. Or the other thing could be that you know what you need, you've decided what you want to do, but because you're worried about what other people are going to think or what other people are going to say, you decide that you need to make sure the thing that you're doing is perfect. So then you start to do a lot of research. You are going to iterate and iterate and iterate and iterate on the thing. But in the process of doing that, of taking actions you're taking those actions because you're trying to please people outside of yourself, whether intentionally or unintentionally, you also are not able to move forward, right? Because now you one either have too many options or too many choices, and if you overcome that, then the second thing is you have too many voices in your head. Either it's you worrying about what other people are going to say, or you or other people or the outside influences coming into your mind and disrupting you from the thing that you're supposed to be doing, right? And so if you have too many choices and if you have too many voices, you are going to overthink and you are going to underdo. You're not going to do anything, okay? You're going to be paralyzed. So how do we overcome this problem? Because we all have desires. We all want to have an end result. We all want to do whatever it is. It could be losing weight in the health department. It could be starting a business or scaling your business. It could be working on traveling. I don't know, whatever the case may be. What is the thing that stops you from achieving the goal? Okay, so how are we going to become overdoers versus overthinkers? Okay, first thing that you're going to do in order to become an overdoer is you're going to collapse all the choices and pick one thing. One choice. You only have one choice. That means that you need to close all the tabs in your mind about all the different things you could do, all the different ways you could do it, and pick one way. Because if there's only one choice and you remove all the other ones, then it's possible for you to move to take the next step, right? And so we had this discussion and I was like, stop doing all of the things, right? Let's stop short form content. Let's stop the TikTok. Let's stop the Instagram. Let's stop everything and let's just pick long form, right? Let's pick one way in which you're going to generate traffic for your business. Because if you don't generate traffic, if you don't take that first step, then nothing is going to move, right? You have to take the first step. And so the first step is having one choice, only one thing that you're going to do. If it's in the health space, maybe the only thing that you're doing in order to be healthy is getting 8 hours of sleep. Maybe it's walking 10,000 steps. Whatever it is, just pick one. Because you need to create momentum, and the only way to create momentum is to take a step forward, is to take an action, okay? So pick one thing that you want to do and pick one way in which you're going to do it. It's just one thing, right? So that's the first thing that you need to do in order to become an overdoer, is to take the first step. And the first step is to pick one thing and to only have one choice, okay? The next thing that you're going to do now that you only have one choice is that you're only going to listen to one voice, okay? One person. One person. And I'm going to give an example of this because I have fallen into this trap where I'm creating a business and I have so many different people that I could choose from in terms of mentors and all of that. And I'm like, okay, I have to just stick to this one way of doing it, right? I only want to listen to this one voice who is guiding me, right? If you're a spiritual person, then, you're listening to your voice, and your voice is basically listening to the voice of God who is inside of you. Because I believe that, if we're all made in the image of God, then a part of God is in us. So we need to listen to our voice, and our voice is technically God's voice speaking through us, right? And so you only want to focus on one voice. So it cannot be the voice of other people. It cannot be what are other people doing, because then it's not your voice anymore. It's different people's voices, and that's going to create overcrowding, right? That's creating auditory noise in your mind, because now there's too many voices and it's like zzz, and if you're hearing that, you can't hear yourself, right? So if you are going to listen to a voice, one, listen to your voice, right? And what is going to be beneficial for you and what is going to allow you to use your voice. Because if you listen to other people's voices, what happens is you end up not using your voice. You don't say what you have to say. You don't do the thing. You don't exercise your power to get to the next step, which is step 2, right? So if you've done step 1, but then you get stuck at step 2 because of everything that's happening around you, you need to close all of that and just listen to that one voice, right? It could be you and your inner voice of what you feel the most comfortable doing, or it could be the voice of a person who is guiding you, like a mentor who is telling you, do this one thing and let's do it for a period of time and see how it goes, right? So you want to reduce the number of voices that are basically coming into your head, okay? If you have 2 ears, then there should only be maximum 2 voices. One of the voices is your voice and God's voice that's speaking within you. And the other voice can be a mentor, but ultimately it's still going to be your voice, because the mentor may or may not be the right mentor, or they may not use the right their method or their way of doing things may not be the right fit for you. So you're using them as a guide, but ultimately your voice, your one voice, is the one that is going to make the decision. It's the one that is going to drive you forward to the next step, okay? So ultimately, you listen to one choice, you pick one choice, you listen to one voice, right? And if you do that, if you're able to if you're able to pick one choice and you're able to listen to one voice, then you will be able to take the next step, which is taking action. Because if you already know that in order to grow your business, you're going to make a video, right? And you're like, okay, I'm making a long form video, and you know that long form video is going to be on YouTube. So then you know that you only have one choice. You can only make your videos on YouTube. And so then all you have to worry about is, well, how do I make good YouTube videos, for example, right? And if you're only listening to one voice, then as you're making these YouTube videos, you're going to hear or notice patterns that are going to nudge you in different directions. But if you look at what everybody else is doing, then you're not listening to yourself. You're not listening to your inner guidance, your inner knowledge, and all of that. And you're not able to make the best decisions for yourself. And at the most, if you have to, you can have one person on the outside that you look at for an external guidance, right? The outside ear. But then the inner ear or the inside ear should still be you saying, I'm going to listen to this one person on the outside, but ultimately I'm going to make the decision. I'm going to use my voice to move me forward to the next step. And so if you pick one choice and you listen to one voice, the third thing that you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to start doing. And I don't want you to just start doing, but one of the things that I told my client was, when you overthink, you stop doing, right? And when you listen to too many voices, you shrink yourself and you stay hidden. And so if you're going to be a business person, or if you're going to be a content creator or whatever it is, the thing that you want is on the other side of you not only overdoing, but overexposing yourself, right? And so when you have too many choices, you're going to stop doing stuff. And when you listen to too many voices, you're going to hide away. You're going to stay hidden. So the opposite of what you need to do is you need to commit to overdoing, okay? One of the ways in which I'm overdoing is I am making a video on this channel every day. Sometimes it's at the same time, sometimes it is late. I have committed to overdoing on this channel, as I am also overexposing myself on this channel. I am not hiding, right? I am not choosing an avenue of being hidden in hopes that I get discovered in the dark. Like, that's just not going to happen, right? So if you're gonna get discovered, if people are gonna find out that you have a business that you're trying to help people with, well, you gotta expose yourself. You gotta put yourself out there. You cannot stay hidden. And so now I'm like, all right, I'm not staying hidden. I'm going to overdo by creating content, making videos every day. Some of them are going to be great. Some of them are going to be terrible. It doesn't matter. The only thing that I care about and the only thing that I am attaching myself to doing is the doing, right? I feel like if I make this video every day till the day that I said I was going to stop making them, then I have accomplished something in me. Then I believe in myself. Then I know that I can do hard things. Then I know that I can be consistent. Then I am more confident in myself. So the overdoing is important. It's important for me, but it's also important for me to grow because I get data, I get information from the videos that I make. I see what people like to watch. I see what's working, and then I can make better decisions about how to move forward, right? And the overdoing is allowing me to keep moving forward versus the overthinking that will keep me stuck. And then I would say, well, maybe I'm going to take a whole week to make a very good video that I think I know what the person who is going to watch my video wants. And then I make one video and then nothing happens and I feel like, oh my God, I made the video. It didn't perform. Maybe nobody wants to watch it. But if you do the opposite, which is what I'm doing, and you post a video every day, then after 30 days, you have 30 videos. And you have some idea of what people are resonating with. You are able to feel comfortable talking on camera. You are able to detach yourself from the result and attach yourself to the process, right? And if you do that, you attach yourself to the process, you attach yourself to overexposing yourself, right? And say, you know what, as long as I put myself out there and as long as I did the thing I said I was going to do, I'm good, right? I'm confident. I know that I have done the things that I can control, right? Because everything outside of you, you have no damn control. You don't know when the algorithm is going to pick you up. You don't know who's going to watch you. You don't know how the video that you make is going to impact somebody. You don't know anything. The only thing that you know, the only thing that you can control is the action that you take, right? And the putting yourself out there. So in order to be successful in whatever you're doing, you have to overdo that one thing that you want to do, okay? And listen to the one voice that is telling you to do the thing anyways, right? And if you do that, then you're going to be able to overdo, right? You can say, I'm going to show up every day, because every day that you're breathing is another experience, is giving you the opportunity to do and expose yourself, to show other people what you're doing. So you're not just doing the thing and keeping it hidden. Like, what's the point of, I'm thinking about an author, I can't remember right now, I read about him, where most of his work was, he wrote all these amazing books and then they didn't find them until he was dead. I'm like, what is the point? And it was like such good work of art, right? But it was hidden. He was afraid of being exposed, right? He was afraid of the opinions of other people. He listened to the voices of people outside of him. He did not listen to his inner voice that told him to do the thing. So he had the option, like his voice told him to write this book, right? And so he picked one choice. He did the thing, one thing, he was gonna write books in his spare time. I think he was a banker or something. But then the next step, which was to expose it, which was to let other people see it, he did not take. And so he died without people finding out who he was, without people getting the privilege of knowing what it is that he could give people, right? And as a result, I mean, I don't know. He died miserable. He died poor. He didn't get what he wanted, which was to get to make money from his writing, and in a way to get appreciation from other people about what it is that he was able to do, right? For people to appreciate his work. He didn't get any of that. Why? because he was afraid to expose himself, because he was worried about the voices outside of himself, outside of the voice that God gave you, or the voice that God is speaking to you. Okay. And so at the end of the day, if you have a desire to do anything, that desire is coming about because you want to have something. There is something, someone, an inner voice that is saying, hey, I like this, right? And there's a reason why. And if that voice is saying, I like this, or I want to do this, then that is the only voice that you should be listening to, the inner voice that is saying, I want to do this, which is the choice, and the voice is the thing telling you to do the choice. And if you do those two things, then you're able to have the thing that you want, right? So this is just a little rant. It was this is a rant as a result of me having this conversation with my client. But as I was talking to her, I was like, okay, I'm going to do a video on this topic because I think that if you want to have something, then you need to stop overthinking. And obviously the problem that we had during the call was the overthinking. So in conclusion, you need to stop overthinking, okay? Because when you overthink, you underdo. And when you underdo, you underhave, okay? And so the only way to have what you want is to do, okay? And doing is not just the action, but it's also the exposure that you need, right? And so make one choice that is going to allow you to do the thing. Listen to one voice that is telling you to do the thing, that's giving you the next step. And as a result, be okay with doing consistently and doing daily, I would say, if you can. I think that every opportunity that you have to do, you should do. So I think daily is what I'm doing, is what's feasible for me right now. It may not be feasible for everybody, but I think if you do something daily towards your goal, then you create momentum. But the last thing that you have to do in addition to doing is you need to expose it. You need to pick a place where you share what it is that you are doing, right? So you expose yourself so you can have what you want, because it's a desired outcome. If you want a business, then you want to make money. If you want to lose weight, then you want to have health. Expose yourself in the process, okay? And I'm not talking about telling people who are probably going to put you down. Like, don't listen to those people. But document the journey, right? Write about it, make a TikTok series or whatever it is, YouTube video. Document the process of you doing the thing, because when you put yourself out there, there are two things that are going to happen. One, you're going to become more confident in yourself because you're going to be more attached to the process and detached to what people might say, right? So you've quieted the noise, or you've quieted the voices that you were afraid of. But the second thing that you're going to end up doing is you're going to help other people move along on their journey. People are going to see you doing the thing, right? Doing the one thing, and they're going to see you choosing the one voice, which is you. And the result of that is now they can see you. They see you because you chose one thing, and they see you because you listen to one voice. And when they see that, they're going to say, hey, I can do this one thing that I've been wanting to do. I can choose this one desire that I've been wanting to do, right? And when they say I can, right, then they're listening to their inner voice, their one voice. And now, because you put yourself out there and expose yourself, you're going to help somebody to take the steps that they need to take to achieve their dreams, right? And so overthinking doesn't just do you a disservice, it does everybody a disservice, right? And there are people who really need what is inside of you, right? And so stop overthinking, okay? Stop overthinking. And again, too many choices is going to make you overthink. So pick one thing. Pick one thing that you want to focus on. Choose one voice, which is you, and then put yourself out there. Do the thing and put yourself out there in the process. And I promise you that you're not only going to get better, or you're not only going to be able to take the steps forward to achieve your goal, but you're going to help other people achieve their goals because they're watching you take steps to achieve your goal. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, and I'm still learning the process of getting my thoughts out there in a way that is helpful for people, but I'm not allowing myself to try to be perfect before I put the thought out there. I'm putting it out there, and as the days go by, I believe I will get better. But I think that there's something in this video that can help somebody, and so that's why I'm putting myself out there, and I'm telling you to choose one thing, choose one voice, do something daily, expose yourself daily, and you're not just going to help yourself, you're going to help somebody else as well. I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.